Will we ever make it out of here? I'm not certain. No! I don't want to die! I've got to get out of here! Hello there. You smell what I smell? I hope that odor isn't coming from you. Lead the way.
Scheduled terminations will take place at 00:00 hours.
My God, what are you doing here, Gordon? I certainly hope you know what you're doing. That sound. What is it? Oh no. Oh dear!
Personnel detected in cell block E, subsection 3. Turret wellness system will activate in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Toilet Plunger here is a nod towards amazing game Roger Wilco. One of the things I always liked about Roger Wilco was he referred to himself as a sanitation engineer, which of course is just a nice way of calling yourself a janitor. Something about those games that always intrigued me. I don't know, maybe it's because it was that kind of brutal era of games where the slightest mistake at some critical moment would cost you the game. Leisure Suit Larry's from the same era. I mean, that game can almost be even worse. I mean, one of the first things you do in that game is you're plopped in front of a bar, and there's a street in front of you, and you try and walk in the street, and bam, game over. Why would you walk in the street? A car hits you and runs you down. And all those games were trial and error. Everything was out to kill you, ruin your fun. I don't know, it's a guilty pleasure, I guess.
System will activate in 5 seconds. 5, 4,
Интересно, эта труба меня сможет
3,
защитить?
2, 1, 0.
Что в состоянии времени? Что стрелять?
Warning. Unauthorized personnel detected in cell block E, subsection 3. Turret prisoner wellness system will activate in
Что это?
5 seconds.
Что это?
5, 4, 3, 2,
Блядь, боже.
1, 0. Attention. Escape classification report 2. Subsection E3.
Договорись. Договорись дальше. Дальше. Блять. Дальше не туда. Опять с вами спустись вообще. Да, это большой шаг. Месяц. Блин.
One of my favorite movies of all time is Escape from Alcatraz. And one of the best scenes in that movie is when they finally escape. They break out of the back of the prison cells, and they're climbing up the pipe and ductwork between the different prison blocks, going up to the roof, escaping, but you can see that they're in this space where they really shouldn't be. They need to be quiet. It's claustrophobic. Things are unfamiliar. It's not a livable space. You know, and as you're watching this, you're not sure what's going to happen. Are they going to get caught? Are the prison guards going to come out and catch them in the act? It's suspenseful and it's exciting. And I think that's a really interesting position to put the player in. Put them someplace where they're not sure if they should be there. What are they supposed to do? Are they doing the right thing? Is somebody going to come out and shoot them in the face? I don't know. They don't know. And I think that type of suspense is what makes games interesting and keeps the action going and keeps the fun going. I mean, if I'm in a game and I'm not sure what's going to happen next, heck, I'll take that. I'd love to play a game like that. And that's what's going on with the jump at the beginning of this section. So people say they hate jumps to ladders and that they suck and they're no fun. And I don't know, maybe they're right, but I like them. But this jump reinforces that anything can happen in the game. You're set up to expect to be able to bridge a gap, but that's something that this game will challenge you with, so that you can move on and climb up a ladder, and that you just have to learn to master jumping. But then in the next section, you break the damn pipe you're standing on and throw you down in a pit full of leeches. How's that for meeting your expectation? this is one of those situations where there's definitely complicated solutions to simple problems. At least in a modern game engine, this puzzle would be pretty simple to set up with some physics. But Half-Life 1 doesn't have anything. This gold source doesn't support that. At least to the respect that this puzzle tries to fake. So here, it's just a big smoke and mirrors show, trying to fake that with a bunch of crazy entity work. So the two boxes that are trapped at the bottom are just two trains. They move on a predetermined track. Now the funny part about how this grate works in releasing the boxes is that behind This is one of my favorite little sections of Gaged, behind the scenes in the walls of the prison. A lot of it goes back to some of the things I really enjoy the most about prison movies and escapes, is seeing the prisoner figure out how to probe the system for weaknesses, how they're working around security, feeling uncomfortable, not sure whether they're going to get caught, or how exactly they're going to escape. And in this section, I tried to recreate that feeling, presenting the player with an unknown number of choices and dangers, making them test the security and find the areas where it's weak. I think a lot of games,
Turret, prisoner, wellness, system,
There's a great little trick here in the armory with all the weapons hanging on the wall. Half-Life doesn't support actually positioning any of the weapon models in any position you like. They basically can lay on the floor and that's it. So in the armory, there's a bunch of weapons hidden under the floor that you can't see. And when you pick them up, they're set to trigger different models that are positioned on the wall and turn them off to give the simulation that you've picked them up off the wall. There's all these little tricks like this in the Half-Life engine that you kind of have to do because it's old and it couldn't support all of the things that a modern game engine can support. But I like all of that. All that's texture. It's what makes working in an older game engine fun and interesting. There's different challenges to overcome. And I like finding those creative ways of solving those simple problems with overly... One of the little quirks of Gold Source when Half-Life first shipped and mods for Half-Life were new was that getting music into a mod into the Gold Source engine wasn't really possible. The music for Half-Life shipped on the disc. It was on the CD. And as you'd play the game, the disc would be spun up and the game would fire off to play some music and it would pick a track from I really do think that playing with expectations is one of the best ways to make games interesting. And playing with those expectations brings out interesting emotions in the player.
Interesting emotions.
Announcement. Improper operation of exercise blocks will result in elimination of accumulated rule credits.
I love fucking detailing spaces like this. You have so many opportunities in the ceilings to create a story and make the environment feel bigger than it actually is. You'll see a lot of spaces where people just kind of cap off the top of a room and move on in the way that they've detailed an area. And I love like adding all these different pipes, ductwork, and telling a story with it. In the next hallway, there's
Миш, блять. Сука, я в тебя, блядь, выставлю, блядь. Сука, блядь.
subsection T4. Maintenance requested in
Why are you leaving me
pump
here?
control, North Cock. Rodent control requested in subsection T4. Rodent control requested in subsection T4. Requested in control North
The guard room here is an example of loopback gameplay, which is essentially a way to telegraph to the player where they can go before they actually go there. And it's also a way to give the player tools to orient themselves in the universe in which they're playing. So here the player can see into the guard booths, into some of the areas they're going to get access to once they find their way through the shower room. And if they happen to go through the shower room before they actually enter this space, they can see an area which they didn't yet encounter. And later on from the guard towers they can come back into this space to have an additional experience. And I've always felt this is one of the best items in a designer's toolbox. One of the crucial things about it is it helps give the player that feeling that they're not on a rail and that their destiny is in their own hands. There's like this magical point in first-person shooters and games that require some amount of puzzle work and critical thinking, where when the player solves a puzzle or gets from A to B or meets a challenge, they feel like they got themselves there. They were the ones that figured out how to get through that challenge, and they feel a sense of excitement and ownership over that solution, when really in reality there was only one solution to begin with. And a loopback which shows the player the breadth of their options and what their experience could or might be is a critical way to create that experience for the player.
Elevator bank D02. Attention, prison control, mobilized.
In the original version of Gaged from 2002, the battle here in the prison yard was the finale. It was the end of the level. And it was always like a marriage that was never consummated. It just didn't quite hit the mark for what it needed to be. It was never designed as a proper finale. It never pushed the player to that peak, to that limit. So now it's used as a fight before the finale, and it sets the player up, and it foreshadows that there's greater challenges still yet to come. My favorite thing about this space is that it changes. The player's given the ability to explore it in a non-hostile setting. Once you eliminate the guards from the towers, you can move around this space and get a feel for it. And later on, it completely changes with the prison control that comes in. And I really enjoy a space like this. It's a jungle gym, it's a choose-your-own-adventure. And I love how it works now as the appetizer for the finale. After you go through the cargo doors, you hear that music, and you just know shit's gonna get fucking crazy. Another personal favorite part of this space in the yard here is kind of just what it is. It's a prison yard that's located next to the exit to the prison. I don't really know what kind of prison would actually do that, but I think it's pretty hilarious. I don't know, maybe it comes from movies like The Shawshank Redemption or other prison films where you kind of see the guys hanging out in the yard and the bus rolls in and the fresh fish get off. I don't know, they're usually in close proximity. But I'm not sure the front door is ever actually part of the wall of the prison yard.
Malfunction. Attention. North cockpit frozen. Exit enabled. Attention. Armored window power.
The sequence here where the guards shoot through the door is absolutely an homage to the original Half-Life 1, where they blow holes through a vent you're in. I remember when I first saw that, just gushing over it with my brother, and telling how awesome it was when they shoot the holes through the vents and it comes crashing down and the light streaming through, and holy shit. It's like at the time, that effect was just fucking mind-blowing. And of course it's like super primitive, but it's still effective, I like it. There's a visceral reaction to that effect, the ending carnage or threat that's damage. It felt like the really great spot to throw it into Gaged. In this control room, we used to know a number of pickups for ammunition for the rocket launcher, and in testing we found that players were confused as to why that was there. They felt like there should be a rocket launcher close by, but they kept searching and scouring the first 2 floors of the complex here, and they would never proceed up the ladder to find the rocket launcher on the 3rd floor. There's this term that was thrown around by a lot of projects I've worked on, which is the Swiss cheese effect for multiplayer games. It's kind of like if you have a combat or a situation going on, and it's just too much, the player can't handle everything that's being thrown at them. There's too many points of danger. The visual fidelity of what the player sees is just
Personnel requested in thermonuclear deployment facility.
I just love the music when the doors open here. It just makes you feel like you want to just charge out, guns blazing. It's exactly the feeling that I wanted to have come through in this finale. The helicopter coming by, keeping the pressure on the player the whole time. Feeling like you can't stop. I often associate different music with the different projects I've worked on. It's interesting, the first game I worked on for the Xbox, Men of Valor, I always start thinking about German techno, because I was really into industrial music at the time. And for Team Fortress 2, working on Hightower, I think the whole time I listened to Depeche Mode. So every time I hear one of their songs, I always think about developing that map. I think about the time I started at Valve was when I really got into synthwave and outrun music. And that's when I found out about Laserhawk and really started liking his music. I think I bought a couple of his first albums, and I just thought he was great, along with a bunch of the other artists in that genre. I recorded some of Laserhawk's stuff to a cassette tape, because that's all I had in my Volvo. And I'd make these trips, driving from Seattle to Portland, to go play pinball tournaments. And I'd listen to his music the whole way down there. And one day out of the blue, I got this email from some guy named Garrett Hayes. And as I'm reading it, he says, "Hey, I'm looking through my receipts for my Laserhawk purchases, and I saw your name on there. Are you Kaylee George, like the one who plays a bunch of pinball? I'm really into pinball, and I've seen all your videos." And it turns out that Laserhawk was a pinball fan, and I'm a pinball fan, and we both play competitive pinball, and we never knew it. And as we got to talking, he's telling me he's my fan, and I'm telling him I'm his biggest fan. And we've been friends ever since.
Drums engaged. Detonation will commence in 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6.
Oh man, if I had a cigarette boat, I'd like to think I'd ride off into the sunset blasting Laserhawk. The whole idea for this scene came from this song, A Promise, and it just felt so fitting to have the game end in some sort of Miami Vice cutscene. I'll shut up now. Let's listen to that awesome track. Thanks for playing.